Director of Emergency Management for the state of Florida, Kevin Guthrie, as well as our Adjutant General for the Florida National Guard, Major General John Haas. Of course, we have a lot of local officials here from Levy County, Sheriff Bobby McCollum, EM Director John McDonald, Williston Mayor Charles Goodman, Bronson Mayor Robert Parton. We have Representative Schoaf, we have Senator Perry, Senator Simon, County Chair Matt Brooks, and we have some other local officials as well. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everyone for their efforts to prepare for what is probably already become a hurricane, but certainly will be by the time it gets to Florida, Hurricane Idalia. We are taking action at the state level to prepare for the storm and for the response, particularly with respect to things like power restoration. We're going to have close to 4,000 linemen stationed in the state of Florida for when this storm hits, and the goal is going to be to send them to where it needs to be for power restoration. This will be a joint effort. We do want the local municipalities and municipal-owned or co-ops to be willing to accept mutual aid from some of the other electrical companies, and the goal is to get the power back as fast as possible. We are fulfilling at the state level requests from the counties, so if you have requests, please send those in. We will get those turned around. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, it may be the case where we start to see some nasty weather as the hurricane starts to get closer and closer, so there will be a limit as to when those will be due. So if you do now, you have a great chance to get that fulfilled without any problems. But contact Florida Division of Emergency Management if you need more resources. I have been in contact with the White House as well as FEMA. They have approved our request for a pre-landfall disaster declaration. I was just in Pinellas County meeting with local officials, and they have issued some evacuations for their barrier islands, and I think you should anticipate that. I know that as well for the coastal areas, the people that are in very vulnerable areas on the West Coast. You likely are under or will be under in order to evacuate. You don't need to evacuate far. You don't need to go hundreds of miles away. You don't need to try to outrun the storm. The evacuation is basically saying get away from the life-threatening storm surge. So you can go inland, you can be in a structure that can withstand hurricane force winds, and you can ride out the storm, and then you can go back to your home when all is clear. But you don't need to be driving hundreds of miles. If you go to a friend's house, family member, all that's fine. It's just get away from the storm surge. That's the main thing that we're looking at. Now, there will be a 5 o'clock advisory issued by the National Hurricane Center. We anticipate you could see a change in the track and a little movement of the cone. There have been some of these computer models that have been running this afternoon that have pushed the storm a little bit further on a westerly track. And all that means is that the further west it goes, the more it's likely to impact the northern part of Florida. The further east it goes, the more it gets into central Florida. There's still a lot of range of possibilities. Even if you're not in the cone, you can still face major impacts, but we do believe that you may see a track shift at the 5 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center. As of right now, there's a hurricane warning in place for the entire Gulf Coast of Florida from Sarasota County all the way up through Franklin County in northwest Florida. So the impacts potentially can be very far and very wide. We are in a situation where the schools, there's been a number of school closures based on what the local school district, so parents just follow what your local school district is saying. And most of these Gulf counties, you're going to look to see Tuesday and Wednesday will likely be without school, so please just follow through with that. We have a lot of resources staged to be able to respond to the storm. We've got a couple 100,000 gallons of fuel in trucks and tankers that we can bring in if there's interruption in fuel. We have 7 urban search and rescue teams that are ready to deploy to impacted areas. Hopefully there's not going to be people that are going to need to be rescued, but if there are, we're going to have people there. And of course, water, tarps, MREs, all those things that are really important for the storm we're going to do. Now, your preparedness kit should be to have several days of water and non-perishable food. So when the state surges water and surges some of these things, the assumption is for those initial few days, you have what you need, and you should have what you need that's the way to do it. And then if there needs to be a surge of resources, then we can pick up and help from there, especially if the stores are closed or whatnot. Now, during Ian, a lot of these gas stations, Publix, they came online very, very quickly. So that was a big positive. We still provided a lot of water. We provided a lot of rations and all that, and we're happy to do it. But they came on. Now, if they're not on, then that's where this becomes important. But definitely prepare yourself so that you have several days worth of provisions, and also just prepare to lose power. If you're in if you're in the path of this storm, especially in this area here, there's a lot of trees. There's going to be trees that get knocked down. There's going to be power lines that are going to get knocked down. That's just the reality. So understand that. Prepare for that. We have all these people stationed to try to get it connected as soon as possible, but there is going to be damage to the power grid and the power system. With I shouldn't say the grid, just the lines. You're going to see transmission interrupted. So please prepare accordingly. We now have 5,500 National Guardsmen activated and available. They've got a lot of resources at their disposal. We've also requested some additional rotary wing air assets. We've got 650 Starlink for internet access, ready to be deployed as needed. And clearly, if there's places that are without connectivity and power, we want to get that there so people can get back and be connected again. We also know that there have been state colleges that have announced closures: Florida Gateway College in Lake City, North Florida College, Pasco Hernando. There may be more that are coming as we go forward. All in all, listen to your local officials. I know here in Levy County they've issued the guidance and the directives, and I think people have been very responsive. We saw with Hurricane Ian, some of this storm surge, it's not something that you want to mess with. That's the thing that can be really, really deadly, is the storm surge. And so the old kind of saying is, you run from the water by evacuating away, and then you hide from the wind by being in a structure that can withstand. And most structures in Florida are going to be able to withstand a Category 3 type of a system. This could be a Cat 3 plus type deal. I mean, it looks like it's going to continue to strengthen over the very warm waters of the Gulf, but it's the surge in the water that is really the most deadly when it comes to these hurricanes. If you are without power and you decide to use a generator, please use that generator appropriately. Do not run your generator inside your house. The exhaust from that could kill you. Don't run it inside your garage. You got to run it outside the house, at least 20 feet away from a window or a door, and have that exhaust facing away from your house. We don't want to have any fatalities because of misuse of generators. And I know we've got a lot of new Floridians who may not have experienced a hurricane yet. That is something, the generator safety, that's very, very important. Go to floridadisaster.org/get-a-plan if you have any questions about what you need to do to prepare. You still have time to get what you need today, and even for probably most of tomorrow. As we get into tomorrow night, certainly as we get in, if we're further south than here in the Tampa Bay area, you're going to start to see effects up in Levy and north of here. You're going to see as the day goes on and we get into Wednesday, there's going to be impacts far before it actually makes landfall. So just be prepared for that and anticipate that. All right, we're going to hear from a couple people right now. We have Florida DEM Director Kevin Guthrie.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your leadership, as always. I want to thank John McDonald. He's one of those guys that takes my calls at 6 a.m. in the morning whenever I get up and running. And, you got one of the best emergency management directors here in Levy County that's along the Gulf Coast. So, John, thank you for your friendship and your partnership. The state is standing by right now, as the governor has mentioned, with water, MREs, tarps, specialized equipment, liaisons, water rescue teams, shelter nurses, Florida National Guard support, Starlinks, and many other items, flat bottom boats, airboats, and urban search and rescue teams coming from South Florida. We need to take this time now ahead of landfall to evaluate your capabilities. And when I say your capabilities, I'm talking about the homeowner, the business owner's capabilities. We need to know what you need. You need to contact your local emergency management agency. If you're a special needs individual, you need to contact John and his team find out where your special needs shelter is at. Do you need extra time? Do you need assistance in getting to that shelter? That's something John and his staff can help you out with. If he needs assistance, then he's obviously going to call us, and we're going to be here to help out as well. This morning, the State Emergency Operations Center activated to a full level 1 activation, meaning that everyone that is a part of state government is available for response to the storm. We received a pre-landfall declaration, as the governor has mentioned, from FEMA, and as of 11 a.m., Tropical Storm Idalia was located about 80 miles southwest of the western tip of Cuba, and it was forecast to strengthen as it moves forward, as the governor has mentioned. We already have hurricane warnings in effect from Longboat Key all the way north to Ocklawackney River, including Tampa Bay. Tropical storm warnings are in effect from the Dry Tortugas northward through the middle of Longboat Key and west to over the Ocklawackney River westward to Indian Pass. Storm surge warnings are in effect from Englewood northward all the way to Ocklawackney River, including Tampa Bay. When we talk about storm surge warnings, the governor mentioned it, but I just got to put an exclamation point on it. Storm surge and freshwater flooding are the number 1 and 2 killers of individuals inside of disasters, especially hurricanes. Please, if you're in an area that has a storm surge watch or warning, you need to be paying attention. If you're in Levy County, you need to be listening to what John McDonald says. If he asks you to leave, if he asks you to evacuate, please do that. I mentioned earlier today, 1 cubic yard of water, 3 foot by 3 foot, is 1,700 pounds. 1,700 pounds will move a car, it will move furniture, it will move grandfather clocks, it will move pianos. It can cause blunt force trauma inside of homes if you're staying in your home. You do not want to be dealing with hundreds of cubic yards of water inside your home. So again, please listen to John and his team and do what they ask you to do. We encourage every Floridian to activate your emergency preparedness plan now. As I said this morning, we're doing our job here at the state level. We need you to do your job at home. Make sure that you, your home, your businesses, your family are prepared. If you need more information, as you heard from the governor, you can go to floridadisaster.org/get-a-plan, and that will walk you through how you can get your plan and your kit prepared. We are in the middle of a Florida sales tax holiday, so please make sure you take advantage of that. The information that is tax-free eligible is on our website as well. If you decide to evacuate, do not leave your pets behind. They will not survive. There is at least one one pet-friendly shelter in each county, and you can travel to that shelter with your pets. Many hotels may also choose to be more accommodating during these times. The Rosen Hotel system inside of Central Florida has activated their distress rate, so they're trying to help out and give people and Floridians a place to go to evacuate as well. And again, that's tens of miles, probably about on the outside edge of about 80 miles from here. So again, if that can help you, please take advantage of that. Please make sure you stay in touch with John's team as well as the Division's team. You can get all of our updates at floridadisaster.org/updates. Governor, again, thank you for your leadership.
Okay. All right, we're going to have EM Director John McDonald come up.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Director Guthrie. Just a little synopsis of where we're at today. We started doing some protective action decision-making processes on yesterday. We went to a level 1 activation at 7 a.m. this morning. We did do mandatory evacuation for coastal communities, anybody in mobile homes, RVs and RV parks, also low-lying areas, and anybody that's in an already water inundated area, even though it's not low level. So we sent that evacuation order out about 2 hours ago. Our shelters will be opening up at 8 a.m. in the morning. For those that need to seek information, they're having trouble finding information that we're putting out, and you may be new to our county, please visit levydisaster.com on the website. Also, we have an app, which is the Levy Disaster app. You can go to your Apple Play Store or your Android Play Store and download that app. It's free. It's kind of a one-stop shop. All the information that we push out, all the information the National Weather Service pushes out, their NWS alerts and all that, it all comes through that app. So you'll get push notifications instantaneously. So we have that, and then we also have our Facebook, Levy Facebook LCDEM. You can go there. We update that quite regularly. So you'll start seeing a lot more stuff come out a lot quicker today. Now that we kind come up for air for a little bit. But the municipalities in those coastal areas, I can't stress this enough, that we've been fortunate in storms and stuff that we've had in the past. Those that remember the no-name storm in '93, those that remember the Hurricane Hermine in 2016, every one of those were kind of minimal to us and all that, except for Hermine was a little bit rougher. But the folks out there in Cedar Key, they remember that. The folks in Yankeetown, they remember that. So I can't stress this enough. When the mandatory evacuations come out, I don't take those things lightly. I don't put them out there lightly. So when you see a mandatory evacuation come out, you need to heed that warning. Storm surge is real, folks. It is the #1 killer. And my biggest concern with my job and what I do is fatalities. That's not in my equation. So take heed of these warnings, all that. And I thank y'all for the things that y'all have done. As a citizen so far, you seem to be really receptive to the protective actions and all that come out. We'll be sending more as the day goes on. So the shelters, like I said, again, 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning for both our general pet-friendly shelter and our special needs shelter. If you have any questions, call our Rumor Information Line, Citizens Information Line. It is 352-486-5155 or 352-486-5576. Other than that, that is all I have. I thank you, Governor. I thank you, Director Guthrie.
Sheriff?
Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank the Governor and his staff and all those that are here with us today, Director Guthrie, and all they do to assist us here in Levy County. That assistance is ongoing, as you've heard, and it will continue throughout this event. I can't reiterate enough what has been said, that we've escaped the last few years with any major storm or other than storm surge and flooding and those kind of things. We can certainly expect that this time. We expect this storm, if it stays like it is now, to be an extremely stronger storm than we've faced in a long time. And as Sheriff, I want to thank my employees and all the county staff and our commissioners and all for their support, and we're actively in action now and trying to protect our county. My ultimate goal as Sheriff and responsibility is to not only serve our citizens, but to keep them safe. And I can't say it enough that this evacuation order has been out. Our shelters will open at 8 o'clock in the morning. Please don't wait. Our citizens, our residents, please don't wait to the last minute. We cannot get to you after we start having sustained winds of 35 to 40 to 45 miles per hour. Emergency medical can't get there. My deputies can't get there to you. We have the resources available to get to you as soon as the storm is over and those sustained winds are gone. But please take advantage as soon as you can tomorrow of the opportunity to shelter. I can't, again, say that enough. Again, thank you for everyone for your support. We need your thoughts and prayers as we go through this. Hopefully that we're going to get even maybe a little better news with the 5 o'clock briefing, but we don't know. We're in the path as we speak. We've got to do everything we can to protect our county and our citizens and our resources here. So thank you, Governor. We appreciate you, and thank you for all you do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we are, we'll be doing another briefing from Tallahassee later tonight. We'll reflect any change, if there is any change in track guidance from the National Hurricane Center after the 5 o'clock advisory. But I think the people here in Levy County are doing the right thing. Prepare, listen to the local officials, and just make sure that you're doing what you need to do to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, we'll talk soon. Thank you.